I'm reviewing American Psycho, which is a 2000s film directed by Mary Herron, based off a book of the same name, and it stars Christian Bale. It is a slasher/horror film, and I think it is much more of a dark comedy than a horror/slasher film. The movie is set in the late 1980s in New York City and follows Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman, who is a rich CEO of a stockbroker company and who believes himself to be inhumane and emotionless, and he also has a strong desire to kill people. The movie progresses with Patrick's continually deteriorating mental state and his growing impulses for killing people and his inability to control them. Although it was a box office flop upon its initial release, American Psycho is still remembered and well-liked today, but not for the reasons that one might expect. It wasn't known for its gruesome horror and memorable killing scenes, although there are some in the movie.
Hey, Paul! Ah!
It is mostly known for its weird humor and bizarre situations that Patrick gets himself into. Throughout the movie, at least 5 or 6 different times, Patrick tries to confess to his coworkers that he's insane and dangerous and has murdered a lot of people.
My need to engage in homicidal behavior on a massive scale cannot be corrected, but I have no other way to fulfill my needs.
Whether it be through luck or the fact that they were drunk or high constantly, they always brush it off and ignore it, and he gets away scot-free with everything he does. I think one of the reasons this film is more of a comedy to me than a horror film is all the weird stuff that Patrick does throughout the movie that isn't really scary. Like when his assistant walks into his office and he's completing a crossword puzzle with just the words
Need any
bone
help?
and meat over and over. Or how he works out to the sounds of women screaming. Just stuff that's not really spooky or scary, just really bizarre. Another way that this is more of a comedy to me than a horror film is how serious Patrick Bateman takes himself. Makes me unable to take him seriously. Like when he's walking into his office listening to Walking on Sunshine. There's nothing scary about that. Or at the famous Let's See Paul Allen's card scene and how angry he gets at him having a better card than him.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
I also think that Christian Bale is quite possibly the perfect person they could have cast for this role, because the way he delivers his lines with the no emotion and the dead stares he gives people when something starts to slightly bug him, I think is perfect. And it's also ruined Christian Bale as an actor for me in any other movie where he uses his American accent and not his British accent. When I look at him in Batman, when I look at Bruce Wayne in those movies, I don't see a hero, I see Patrick Bateman. I think of him as a psychopath in every other movie he's in. This movie also has a really good soundtrack, and whenever there's music in this movie, it usually follows Patrick either going into a tangent on it and killing someone, or him just doing something generally psychotic. I'd give this movie 4.5 Patrick Bateman screaming out of 5. And I think this is pretty much a must-see movie for anyone who likes watching films. And I'd recommend it to anyone who is old enough to watch it.
I have to return some videotapes.